Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. I hope you're doing well. As you might be able to tell, I'm getting over a cold or sinus or something. I'm a little nasally today, so sorry for that. I'm going to share with you today a journey in doing photos with an old friend of mine, the Fujifilm XF 18 to 135 millimeter f3.5 to 5.6. This was the lens I got when I got my XT1. It was part of a kit back in 2014, so 11 years. I made a video about 6 years ago, or 5 years ago, I guess, about a long-term review of this, and I kind of stopped using it a little bit after that. I'd been using the 16 to 80 millimeter f4 as my daily driver, and I'm not 100% sure why. Maybe part of me thinks the f4 is supposed to be better, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. They're not all that dissimilar in size. Oops, let's get those lined up. Here we go. So this is the 18 to 135, the 16 to 80. They're about the same weight. Obviously, f4 versus f5.6 for max aperture. But I really had a good time using the 18 to 135 again. I've never had complaints about the image quality with that lens for myself. I'm not a pixel peeper. I don't need tack sharp. I like character in my lenses a little bit, not too much personality. You know, I wear black. I can't have too much risk in my life. So I wanted to give that lens a try again, and I'm really glad I did. It was fun to rediscover that little bit of extra reach at 135 millimeters. I used it quite a bit in the photos I'll share with you at the end of the video. Another thing I did as part of these going out to make these photos is I connected with a newer friend, Colin Fox. I met him through, he's a customer at Kenmore Camera. I met him. He does some Fujifilm stuff, but he also has a Leica Q2, I think he has. I don't know if he has, I don't think he has the, anyway, he has a Leica Q2. I can't remember which one. Has he got the monochrome? I don't remember. Apologies, Colin. I'm going to leave a link to his Instagram page, and I'm going to hop over and just show you real quick why I like his photos, why we, I think, sometimes share a little bit of a brain about how we approach street photography. So Colin approaches street photography, I think, similar in a way that I do. Lots of abstract and minimal stuff, lots of texture, lots of shapes, not a lot of people. And I'm kind of starting to lean back into that. It's what kind of got me attracted to street photography in the first place, a place where I could go to make photographs anytime I wanted, regardless of the weather, and find interesting things to photograph. So here's some of his photos, and you'll notice as we get down to this one. So this one here. So this photo, you'll see, oh my goodness, I made a comment back in November. I need to know where this is. I didn't know where this was at all, and he showed me when we took a walk together, and you'll see my version of this photo as well. So I like his approach to street photography. It's very similar to mine. He has lots of abstract stuff, lots of shapes and texture, lots of architecture in it. And yes, there's some people, but they're not forced. There's lots of places to make photos in street photography without people, and that's how I like to approach street photography, which I guess is my thought for this video. If I had an overall theme, is to photograph what you want, to create what you want to create, whatever you're creating. Create for yourself first. Think about what you think needs to be out there in the world, and know that not everyone's going to like it. That's just a given. And not everyone's going to interpret or receive it in the same way that it meant to you, which is, I think, both cool. I know it's a little scary, but I think it's really neat when people receive the works we all create, and it means something different to them because that's how they experienced it. So please keep creating, get out there, take that risk, do that thing, creating in the midst of especially the chaos we seem to be in right now, especially, well, in the whole world. Create something. It's good for you. It's good for all of us. It's good for our collective. So please create. So what I'm going to do is walk through a few of the photos that I made, 11 of them exactly, and share with you my thoughts on them a little bit, as well as experience of using the 18 to 135 again. Stay tuned to the very end of this video where I'll introduce what I'm going to talk about in my next video. So here we go. Let's take a look at these photos and walk through them together. I have a feeling we're going to see lots of this building in the future photos, at least from my perspective of things. This is Amazon HQ2 in downtown Bellevue. It's a 600-foot tall building, not quite yet complete, but it's got some pretty cool architectural details for a glass and steel high rise. It's got these orange bits on it. And at different angles, different perspectives, different lens views, it looks really different, which I think is fun to play with. And you'll see a couple more photos with this building in it later today, in this session, excuse me. Also, this is at 135 millimeters, that extra reach, that extra 55 millimeters versus the 16 to 80 was pretty handy to get this condensed, compressed perspective. This is at the Bravern area of downtown Bellevue, a upscale shopping mall, which is kind of redundant in Bellevue. But I like this walkway. What got my attention was the poster at the end, the advertising poster at the end with the lady in that picture. And I thought, ooh, it'd be neat if we could get someone to walk through, and if I could frame it up so some kind of juxtaposition and coordination of those two human elements. And I kind of like the way this works. I'm not sure about all the different leading lines of the V of the rails, but you do what you can do. Again, I think this is probably somewhere in the mid-range of zoom, probably around 80 to 100, maybe a little less. But that 18 to 135 focuses fast, it's quiet. For a relatively old lens, it does an amazing job in tricky focusing situations like this. I saw this photo as I was driving into where I park when I photograph in downtown Bellevue. This is at a new hotel and condo called the International, and the Avenue, I think, is what the condo is called. I saw these lights, shadows, excuse me, coming in through some openings in this. This is a driveway area, actually. So I wanted to come back and photograph it, and here's my photo of that. So sometimes as you're driving and getting to the location, pay attention to things that get your attention, and that might be a photograph to go walk to when you're out and about. I photographed this building quite a few times. It's a tall high-rise in, I guess that's redundant. It's a high-rise, glass and steel, mostly blue, cloudy day, so relatively low contrast. I'm going to play with these photos quite a bit with perspective and perception and the compression that the telephoto gives you optically in flattening an image. So this is one of those that looks, I think, pretty flat, and it's interesting how the 3 dimensions get rendered here, which I like. It's kind of not quite Escher-esque, but a little bit of that. Plays with your perceptions of layers and what's in front, what's behind, as it flattens this out, the 3D world into 2D with this lens. And I really like that. I'm going to play more with that in these photos. I didn't necessarily intentionally set out to do that, but it's kind of fun to see how what I'm photographing can lead to a theme just because I notice it on that day. This one's really simple, just a crow sitting on a parking garage sign with some negative space, empty space. Nothing fancy, just caught my attention and I like it. I like crows sitting on things. They're fascinating birds, and I try and be nice to them because they remember faces. Here's my version of the Colin Fox photo I showed you earlier, and he showed me where it is, and it's a building I walk by a ton of times. I mean, literally, it's every time I've gone to Bellevue, I've walked past this corner, and I miss this. Partially because he did a really interesting thing. He flipped it. So this is what it looks like. And that's why I didn't recognize it when he showed his photo on Instagram. He showed it like this. And I'm like, oh, I didn't think of that. So again, you don't have to, one of the things I think is fun with photos, they're yours. Especially if you're not doing documentary photos, you're doing artistic photos, they can be your interpretation, your experience of what you're noticing, what's in front of your camera. And when you get into software and processing, you can take that another step. You can rotate things, flip them upside down, play with that reality, because it doesn't have to be real, in my opinion. Make the art you want to make. When I was out with Colin, it was on a Saturday in mid-March. There was some protests for Tesla and Elon Musk and all things going on there. And so I photographed some of the people doing that thing, and I like this one, and I like the way I saw this lady walking across the crosswalk with her flag, and I wanted to include her in this photo with the honk for democracy. So there's that. And then these two gentlemen hanging out with the upside down distress flag, hanging out on the corner. Now, one of the interesting things about these protests, and I got to photograph a protest the following weekend, is the demographic of the people in the protests. They're mostly people my age and older, so 60 plus years old, which is a voice that hasn't been as visible in American politics publicly like this for the past few years. So it'll be interesting to see the impact of this. And I just wanted to record these two guys hanging out away from the group. I'm not sure what their story was, but also you can see me in the reflection on the left side of the US flag there. So little selfie moment too. Here's a photo playing with perspectives and perceptions. These are two different buildings. So the building on the left is a brutalist kind of mid-century modern building. It's an old bank building, just concrete. And it, again, depending on your perspective and where you're standing and the lens and focal length you're using, it can seem like it's intersecting with the building behind it that's glass and steel. So that's what I tried to do here, create kind of a balanced composition of that, line things up. It's just a matter of moving feet and moving head and a camera position just a little bit to get this composition to look like this. This is that same building on the left, and now I've positioned, no, it's not, it's a different building, apologies. A little bit different building, but it's in the same neighborhood. And the building on the right is Amazon HQ2. So again, older, newer, intersecting, looks like they're joined together, but they're not, they're layered. I really like the way longer telephoto lenses can do this kind of look of blending things, even though they're in 3D space, not connected. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this, the connecting of things that aren't connected. And as we were walking around, this little kid was out stomping in some puddles, as little kids do. I just thought it was a cute little moment, the shoes with color. When I photograph kids on the street, generally I don't, because they're, it's just potentially creepy as whatnot and confusing. But if you can't see the child's face, I'm okay with that. That's my personal line in the sand, I guess. And if they're doing something cute, I'll at least enjoy watching them and remembering what it's like to be playful. This photo I like this. I generally don't like to compose like this, where it's really tight, but I think it fits this photo. The reflection of the high rise across the street that's in the window of this truck, and the way it's distorted like a funhouse mirror, I really, really like that. And this tight composition hides distractions. There's a lot of stuff going on around this truck, but it also makes it feel more tense, even more distorted. Again, it just adds to that layer of, I hope, look that you get when you have a tight composition like this. So thanks for journeying with me on these photos that I made with the 18-135 that I hadn't taken out for a while. I found sometimes I can feel bored about going to the same location repeatedly, and one thing I try and do is find a way to add some flavor of variety to that. And so bringing this lens out was part of that, and I thought it would be interesting to revisit this lens anyway, and I forgot how much I like it. I traded one of mine in. We have two because Debbie got one when she got her XT1. So I think this is hers. It's got some miles on it, but it still makes really wonderful photos. And it's a lens I would recommend if you have a Fujifilm camera. So there you go. If you have any questions about what I've talked about, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. Next video will be a video about a different lens, going back to prime lenses. This time I will be using the TT Artisan. Can you see that? Is that focus? There we go, I think. There we go. The TT Artisan 56mm f1.8 autofocus. So they sent me this lens to take a look at, to give my opinion on, to make a video about. And yeah, so that's what the next video will be. It will be about this lens, which feels pretty nice. So if you have anything specific you'd like to know about this lens, let me know. My frequency of videos will probably be about once a month-ish right now with my current schedule. So look for this in 3 to 4 weeks. So if you have some questions you want to ask before, let's see, that would be early to mid-May, send them my way, and I'd be glad to factor them into what thoughts I share on this lens. So that's what I've got. Thanks again for putting up with my stuffy nose. I hope, again, you're doing well. I hope you get a chance to go out and make lots of photos or create something. It's good for all of us, as I've mentioned. I know for myself, when I go out and create, it just, pardon the pun, it clears my head. I wish it would work for my sinuses, but sometimes it doesn't. So thank you again for watching today. I hope you stay safe, stay well, and have fun creating photos. Bye for now.